Our next graph is going to be a clustered bar, so a 2D clustered bar graph. Same process. We're going to insert a new pivot table. Click OK. And what I want to see with this one is the total revenue by state. And I want to sort that in that chart so the state with the highest revenue would be first. So again, the difference between our clustered column and our clustered bar is that the clustered bar is really used for sorting or ranking. So I'm interested in total revenue. And instead of seeing product category, I want to see state. And I'm interested in states in the United States. So I'm going to add country to my filter and then choose the United States as my country. So now I have all the states in the United States, and I can sort this pivot table by revenue. If I click on row labels, sort by value, and I want to go largest to smallest, and click OK. Let's format the numbers as currency. I'll just use the accounting format. Remove the decimal places. Perfect. And now I'm ready to insert a bar graph. So I'll choose a 2D clustered bar graph. Okay, now this is a little strange because I have the California, which has the largest revenue, is actually showing up last. And this is kind of a weird thing with these clustered bar graphs, is if you're using this pivot table, you actually need to sort from smallest to largest if I want it to appear in the chart correctly. So let's go to our pivot table, click on the arrow next to row labels, sort by value, and go smallest to largest. Even though my pivot table is showing smallest to largest, my graph is actually going largest at the top to the smallest at the bottom. And yet some of these labels look a little quirky. I don't actually see the California label. So let's make the graph a little bit longer and see if that might help. Still not big enough. Okay, so I can see California, but I just am noticing that it looks like these other states don't have any revenue, and yet I can see from my pivot table that they do. I think part of the problem is that there's such a big difference between my largest and my smallest that those small numbers don't even show up. Let's do something a little bit different. I'm going to change this graph because we do have 50 states and they're not all going to fit on here. Let's just choose the top 10 states by revenue. So if I go to my value filters, there's an option for top 10. I'm going to select that. So top 10 items by revenue. And now I can see that at least there's a small bar for some of these states. And I think when I add my data labels, so if I click up at the chart options, data labels, outside end, now I can actually see the values. And I think that's helpful. But I think this graph really does emphasize the huge difference between California and pretty much all the other states. And let's rename our chart title. So edit chart title, ignore the, let's say, top 10 states by total revenue. And you know what, to be just a little bit more precise, US states. Perfect. And then we'll rename our sheet. Perfect.